Many people think that life is a battle. They feel they must fight against every problem, every change, and every person who disagrees with them. But in the teachings of the Buddha, there is another way. It is the way of non-resistance. Non-resistance does not mean doing nothing. It does not mean giving up or saying that everything is okay when it is not. Non-resistance means not pushing back with anger or fear. It is a gentle way of being with what is happening, without trying to force it to change. Imagine a river. When a rock falls into the river, the water does not try to break the rock. The water flows around it. It continues on its path. The rock is still there, but the river is not stopped. This is the nature of non-resistance. It allows life to move forward, even when things are difficult. Many of us resist life without even knowing it. We say, "This shouldn't be happening," or "I can't accept this." But these thoughts create more pain. They are like trying to stop the river with our hands. We become tired, angry, or afraid. Non-resistance asks us to soften, not to agree with what we don't like, but to stop the inner fight. When we stop pushing against life, something opens. A quiet space appears. In this space, we can see more clearly. We can act more wisely. In Buddhism, this way is gentle but strong. A soft heart is not weak. It is deep. It sees the truth of things. It does not need to win or control. It simply allows things to be as they are, and from there it moves forward with peace. Non-resistance is a practice. It takes time. But each time we choose not to fight against what we cannot change, we grow a little freer. Like the river, we find our way, not by force, but by flow. In our world today, people often believe that strength means being loud, fast, and in control. We are told to take action, speak up, and fight for what we want. But there is another kind of strength. It is quiet. It is calm. It does not shout or push. This is the strength behind letting things be. Letting things be does not mean we don't care. It means we trust life enough to stop forcing it. We stop trying to control everything around us. We stop trying to fix every problem the moment it appears. This quiet strength allows us to remain steady, even when the world is not. Think of the sky. No matter how many clouds pass, the sky does not chase them. It does not say, "Go away." It simply allows the clouds to come and go. This is not weakness. This is stability. The sky is strong because it holds space for everything. In our lives, we often try to push away pain, change, or uncertainty. But these things are part of life. When we let them be, without fighting, we begin to notice something. They pass, they change on their own, and we are still here. Letting things be is also a way to protect our hearts. When we react with anger or fear, we often hurt ourselves more than anyone else. But when we choose to stay still inside, even for a moment, we give our hearts a place to rest. This quiet strength gives us more power than we think. It helps us respond instead of react. It helps us wait and see, instead of rushing to judge or control. And slowly, we find that we are stronger than we knew, not because we win battles, but because we no longer need to fight them. In this stillness, we begin to live with more grace. We can hold joy and sorrow without being broken. We can stay grounded, even when life moves fast. This is the gift of letting things be. It is not loud, but it is powerful. From a young age, many of us are taught to fight, not with our fists, but with our minds and emotions. We are told to be strong, to stand up for ourselves, and to never let anything bring us down. In many ways, this can be helpful, but sometimes this habit becomes too strong. We begin to fight everything, even when we don't need to. Why do we feel this way? One reason is fear. We fear that if we do not fight, we will lose. We fear that if we accept something, it means we agree with it or approve of it. So we resist. We say no. We tighten our minds and our bodies. We try to control what cannot be controlled. Another reason is ego. The small self inside us wants to feel important, safe, and in control. When life does not go the way we expect, our ego feels threatened. It wants to push back. It says, "This is not fair," or "This is not how it should be." The fight is not really with the outside world. It is inside our own mind. We also fight because we feel separate. We believe the world is against us. We feel alone. And when we feel alone, we think we must protect ourselves. So we resist the flow of life. We try to shape it into something safer, something easier to understand. But this way of living makes us tired. It keeps us tense, always ready for battle. Over time, it becomes a habit. We forget that there is another way. When we begin to notice this habit, we can gently ask ourselves, do I really need to fight this? Often the answer is no. We can still act. We can still speak up. But we don't need to carry the weight of the fight in our hearts. The first step is to become aware, to see when we are pushing too hard, to see when fear or ego is leading us. Then we can take a breath and choose to soften. Even just a little. This small shift changes everything. We begin to live with less struggle and more peace. Life is full of surprises. Some are pleasant, like a kind word or a sunny morning. Others are painful, like illness, loss, or disappointment. We cannot always choose what happens, but we can choose how we meet it. This is the heart of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean we like everything that happens. It does not mean we stop caring or lose our dreams. Acceptance means we stop arguing with reality. We stop saying, "This should not be happening." Instead, we say, "This is what is here now." When we accept life as it comes, we stop wasting energy on resistance. That energy can be used for wiser action or simply for peace. We begin to respond, not react. We take things step by step without panic or anger. This is a quiet kind of power. Sometimes people think acceptance means giving up, but it is not that at all. Giving up is heavy and hopeless. Acceptance is open and clear. It sees the truth of the moment and says, "This is how it is right now." That truth gives us a place to stand. Imagine standing in the rain. If we fight the rain, complain, get angry, wish it away, we only make ourselves more miserable. But if we say, "It is raining," and take out an umbrella or find shelter, we can move through it calmly. The rain is the same, but our experience is very different. When we accept, we stop being a victim of life. We stop blaming the world for our pain. We begin to stand in our own strength. Even when things are hard, we can say, "Yes, this is hard, but I am here with it." This way of living brings peace. It helps us see clearly, even in difficult times. And over time, we begin to trust life more. We see that things change. We see that we can survive pain and even grow from it. Acceptance is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of real freedom. When we accept life as it comes, we open the door to deeper peace and deeper understanding. Some people think that if you don't fight back, you are weak. They believe that strength means winning, speaking louder, or being tough. But this is only one idea of strength. In truth, non-resistance takes great courage. It is not weakness. It is a deeper kind of strength. When we choose not to resist, we are not saying, "I don't care." We are saying, "I choose peace over struggle." That choice is not always easy. It takes self-control. It takes wisdom. It takes trust in something bigger than our fears and emotions. Think of a tree in the wind. A weak tree may snap when the storm comes. A strong tree bends. It moves with the wind. It does not fight it. That bending is not weakness. It is life-saving strength. It keeps the tree standing. In life, storms come to all of us. We lose what we love. We face problems we didn't ask for. We meet people who do not treat us kindly. In these moments, it is easy to feel angry, to fight, to resist. But if we always react with force, we often make things worse. We create more pain. Non-resistance says, "I will not let this situation control me." It allows us to stay calm and present, even in the middle of difficulty. It helps us keep our balance. That is strength. Also, non-resistance is not the same as being passive. It does not mean we do nothing. It means we act with clarity, not from fear or ego. We respond from a place of understanding, not from blind reaction. That kind of action is powerful, even if it looks quiet on the outside. Sometimes the world may not understand this strength. That's okay. It is not about how we look to others. It is about how we feel inside. When we stop resisting everything, we begin to feel lighter, more free, more alive. Non-resistance is not running away. It is standing in the truth of this moment, with open hands and a steady heart. That is not weakness. That is deep and quiet strength. If we take time to watch nature, we can learn many quiet lessons. Nature does not rush. It does not resist. It moves with the seasons, the weather, and the rhythm of life. In this way, nature becomes a teacher of non-resistance. A river flows across land without needing a straight line. When it meets a stone or a tree, it does not stop. It moves around it. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but always forward. The river teaches us to flow with life, not by fighting, but by finding a path through. Trees lose their leaves in the fall. They do not try to hold on. When winter comes, they become still. When spring arrives, they grow again. They follow the rhythm of life without complaint. This is not weakness. It is deep wisdom. Nature trusts the cycle. We too are part of nature, but we often forget. We try to control everything. We want things to happen, on our schedule, in our way. When they don't, we feel upset, afraid, or angry. But if we look to nature, we can remember a better way. The wind moves freely. It does not ask for permission. The clouds come and go without fear. The mountains do not chase the sun. They simply receive its light when it comes. All of nature is in harmony because it does not resist what is. When we begin to live this way, we feel more at peace. We stop pushing against every change. We stop needing to fix everything right away. Like a river, we learn to trust the shape of our path, even when it is not clear. This does not mean we do nothing. It means we act in harmony with what is true. If there is pain, we allow it to be there, without letting it control us. If there is joy, we enjoy it fully, without needing to hold on too tightly. Like nature, we move with the moment. Nature shows us that non-resistance is not just an idea. It is a way of being, a way of living with trust, patience, and grace. The more we watch and listen, the more we remember. We already know how to flow. Every day brings small struggles. We spill coffee. We get stuck in traffic. Someone speaks to us with a sharp tone. Plans change. Technology fails. These moments may seem small, but they add up. When we resist them, they grow heavier in our minds and hearts. We often think, "This shouldn't happen," or "Why now?" These thoughts come quickly, and with them, stress and tension. But what if, instead of fighting these moments, we simply allowed them to be? Allowing does not mean we enjoy problems. It means we stop adding extra pain on top of what's already there. If we are late, we are late. If someone is rude, we do not need to take it personally. We can say, "This is what is happening," and take one breath. That small pause is powerful. It gives us space to choose our response. Without that space, we often react with frustration, blame, or worry. But with it, we can remain calm. We can even smile at the small surprises of the day. Many people believe peace only comes when life is perfect. But life is never perfect. Life is full of little things we cannot control. The power of allowing means we do not need to control them. We meet each moment with openness. Imagine a tight rope in your hands. If you pull harder on both ends, it becomes tighter. But if you loosen your grip, the rope relaxes. Our minds are like that. When we stop pulling, stop resisting, our inner space opens up. We can breathe again. This practice is not about being passive. It's about staying free inside, even when the outside is messy. It's about letting things pass through us, rather than sticking to us. We allow the moment to be as it is, and we stay present with it. Day by day, this changes us. We become more balanced, more patient, and more gentle with ourselves and others. Not because life gets easier, but because we stop fighting every little thing. In this way, the power of allowing turns ordinary days into peaceful ones, not by changing the world, but by changing how we meet it. Relationships are one of the most important parts of life. They bring us joy, connection, and support. But they can also bring stress, frustration, and pain. Often the trouble begins when we try to control others, even when we don't mean to. We want people to act a certain way. We want them to agree with us, to understand us, to treat us how we think they should. When they don't, we feel hurt, disappointed, or angry. This is natural. But if we look closely, we can see that much of this pain comes from our resistance to how others are. We cannot control what someone else says or feels. We cannot control how they think or how they grow. When we try to, we create tension, for them and for ourselves. The more we push, the more things often break. Non-resistance in relationships means allowing people to be who they are. It means listening without needing to fix. It means speaking with honesty, but not trying to force change. This kind of presence is healing. It makes space for trust and understanding to grow. This does not mean we accept harmful behavior. It means we respond wisely, not with control. Sometimes we may need to set a boundary or take a step back. But even that can be done without anger. We can act from clarity, not from the need to win. Think of how a flower opens in the sun. It cannot be forced. If we pull the petals, we damage it. But if we give it warmth and space, it opens on its own. People are the same. When we let go of control, we give others room to grow naturally. In truth, trying to control others is also a form of fear. We fear being hurt, misunderstood, or left behind. But when we meet that fear with softness, we can release the need to control. We can trust more and demand less. Over time, this way of being changes our relationships. They become lighter, more honest, and more peaceful. Not perfect, but more real. And in that reality, there is deep connection. Non-resistance in relationships is not weakness. It is respect. It is love that does not need to hold too tightly. It is the art of letting others be, and being at peace with that. Life does not always go as planned. There are times when everything feels out of control. News of tragedy, personal loss, confusion and change can all arrive without warning. In those moments, it is easy to feel overwhelmed. Chaos outside can create chaos inside. But even in the middle of it all, peace is still possible, not by escaping the chaos, but by not resisting it. Most of our suffering in difficult times comes from how we respond inside. We think, this shouldn't happen, or I can't handle this. These thoughts tighten the heart and make us feel powerless. But if we stop, even for a moment, and allow things to be as they are, something shifts. Non-resistance does not mean we are happy about what's happening. It means we stop fighting against the moment. We say, yes, this is what is happening now. That simple acceptance can open a small space of calm, even when everything around us is stormy. Imagine sitting in the middle of a loud, busy train station. You cannot control the noise or the people. But you can close your eyes. You can feel your breath. You can sit quietly, even if everything is moving around you. That stillness is inside you, not outside. The same is true in chaotic times. We may not be able to fix the situation, but we can choose how we meet it. We can stop adding more fear and resistance to what is already hard. We can allow ourselves to just be, without trying to change everything right away. This inner calm is not something we create. It's something we uncover once we stop pushing against life. It is already there, like the deep water under the waves. When we practice non-resistance, even in small ways, we begin to trust this calm. We learn that peace is not only for quiet days. It is for all days. It is something we carry with us, like a light inside, no matter how dark things seem. In this way, peace is not the absence of chaos. It is the ability to remain soft and steady within it. And that is the quiet strength we all have, waiting to be remembered. Gentle strength is not something we only use in special moments. It is not just for big life events or deep spiritual times. It is something we can live with every single day, in the way we speak, in the way we listen, and in the way we carry ourselves through both ease and difficulty. Many people believe they need to be tough to get through life. But toughness can become hardness. It can close the heart. Gentle strength is different. It is soft but steady. It bends without breaking. It faces life with openness, not fear. Living this way does not mean we never get upset. We are human. We feel anger, sadness, and stress. But gentle strength means we do not let those emotions control us. We feel them, then return to calm. We do not have to fight ourselves or others. Each day, we are given chances to practice this way of being. When someone speaks harshly, we can pause instead of reacting. When plans change, we can adapt instead of complaining. When something is hard, we can take a breath and say, this too is part of life. These small choices matter. Over time, they shape who we are. We become more balanced. We waste less energy on resistance. We find ourselves more at ease, even when things are uncertain. Gentle strength also means being kind to ourselves. Many of us are our own worst critics. We try to be perfect. We judge ourselves for not doing enough. But this path asks us to soften, even toward ourselves. We can say, I'm doing my best, and let that be enough. When we live this way, others notice. Our calm becomes a light. Our patience becomes an example. We do not need to teach with words. Our way of living becomes the teaching. This is not a quick path. It is a slow, steady way. But it is a true one. It brings peace that does not depend on what happens around us. It gives us strength that does not need to shout. To live with gentle strength every day is to walk through the world with a soft heart and a steady step. It is a quiet kind of power, and it is always within us. We live in a world that can feel hard. There is noise, pressure, and constant change. People move fast, speak quickly, and often carry stress without knowing it. In such a world, It may seem that a soft heart will break, but the truth is, a soft heart is not weak. It is strong in a quiet and beautiful way. A soft heart can feel deeply. It can stay open, even when things are painful. It does not close itself to life. It allows joy and sorrow to pass through without fear. This kind of heart knows how to live with truth. It does not need to control, to resist, or to win. Non-resistance is the natural expression of a soft heart. It allows us to stay balanced when the world becomes difficult. It helps us let go of what we cannot change and focus on how we walk through each moment. With this practice, even the smallest actions, listening with care, speaking with calm, or simply breathing deeply, become acts of strength. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to always be peaceful. But each time you choose not to fight the moment, you are growing. Each time you let go, instead of holding on tightly, you are becoming free. These steps may be small, but they carry deep meaning. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found something helpful, I'm truly grateful. Your kind support, whether through a like, a comment, subscribing to the channel, or even using the Super Thanks feature, means more than words can say. It allows these quiet teachings to reach others who may also be looking for peace. I hope these words have offered a little calm, a little warmth, and a little strength. And I hope you carry these reflections gently into your day, your relationships, and your heart. In a world that moves fast, choosing softness is a brave act, and in that softness there is great power. May peace walk with you always.